Welcome to a review of the Swordier upgraded Feder. This has probably been one of my favorite blades to use in the past couple months, and runs about $270 on their website. If you're looking for a recommendation, yes, I have to recommend it. It is a fantastic blade. We'll talk about the features. First off, it is $270 from the Swordier website. I'm not sure who else sells it, but I bought this from the Swordier website itself. It has about a 25.4 pound flex. The length from tip to end is roughly around 50. Let me make sure this is right. About 52 inches. There is a lovely decorative crossguard with these lovely ends on the quillons. We have this design right here. I'll get back to that later. There was a few issues with the design, but the design on its on-surface level looks pretty good. It is a leather-grabbed handle that is done pretty well, actually. The stitching is really quite tight. I've had no issues with this, even rubbing against my gloves or having slight impacts from blades. We do have a wire wrap down here that is not quite done well. It isn't solid all the way through. There's some gaps, and it isn't a through line all the way. It does have some weird spots at the beginning and end and somewhere in the middle. It's not as clean as I would hope. The pommel, on the other hand, is absolutely beautiful. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but it is handled very well. I've had no issues with rusting or anything like that, so I'm assuming it's some sort of stained steel. It is held up well. You get a lot of good grip without fluting whenever you're doing one-handed techniques. Able to grasp on it, as well as it being peened very strongly. I have never had an issue with a rattle at all on this entire thing. It is held up together very well. Now, the issues. As I mentioned earlier, there was something wrong with the wire wrap. It's not quite clean. It's not quite tight as I would like. It's not loose at all, but there's definitely some spaces that aren't as pretty. Up here on the shirt, there was this beautiful design. However, it is not quite consistent on the blackened part of the design. It's very wavy. There's different parts of it like that are brighter and darker than other parts, and just doesn't look that clean. If you go switch to the other side, it's kind of very much the same. You can definitely see the design, but on closer inspection, it is not quite even on the darkness part of it. Speaking for the leather, there are some parts that are tearing back here. I'm not entirely sure if this is just the leather fault or it was hit by a sword, but it is kind of tearing on different parts of the leather. The quillon, I've had no issues with. It has been perfect. Even a little bit of unblemishes from being struck. It's not anything actually detrimental. Just a little bit of polishing would fix it up. Moving on to the blade. The blade itself is roughly about 39 inches long from tip to the end of the hilt. It's roughly 3/4 of an inch thick at its thickest and goes all the way down to about 1/2 inch at the tip. It is pretty robust. It has a great flex, about 25.4 pounds. It handles well. There's not really any big detrimental damages, no chips or breaks or anything like that. However, I have had to file it down quite a bit because there have been small amount of burrs. It's been a few weeks and it's actually lessened. When I first got it, it got burrs every single fight. Now that I've used it for a little while and filed it down, I don't really have too many issues. There are some like little sharper edges on it from the actual manufacturing process, but once you file those down, it is holding up pretty darn good. I've added a tip to mine, but it is a rounded tip that holds pretty well. It's actually a bit smaller than my Reginier, but it is a sufficient size for HEMA as a rolled tip. According to my scale, the entire sword is about 3.2 pounds. I'm not sure on specifics of where the weight is placed, however it is definitely towards the back. It has a 1-inch point of balance from the crossguard to the blade, and is fantastic. I love that point of balance because it makes it feel so lively, so light, and as someone who really prefers one-hand techniques from the back with the pommel, it allows me to control a point so much easier with just the back hand. Overall, there's not too much more to say. It is a fantastic blade. I recommend it. I think you should buy it. There have been some issues that I've heard of other people's blades breaking. I believe Nick Thomas from the Academy of Historical Fencing in England, his blade broke, but Swordier did have a warranty and got him a replacement. Maybe because he's famous, I don't know. I'm not saying too much about that. But if you do have a blade breakage, they should have a warranty and you should contact them. I've been using this for a couple months now, and I've had no issues besides the aforementioned burrs that have taken care of themselves. I have heard that Swordier's heat treatment can be spotty, and that may be the reason why there's been breaks. Again, I'm saying from my experience, I've not had an issue. Thank you for watching this essay, praying for y'all, and God bless your adventures.